Now that we've got everything folded, we need to start assembling it. And so if we're looking at our multi-view sketch, you can see that with the body, we're gonna have to have the fins, and then this is the air scoop. The air scoop is going to later end up going under here, but remember we got that 1/8 of an inch because it's gonna create a little bit of airflow under here. But what we're gonna do first is you're gonna use your tape from your bag. I'm just gonna peel it off, your masking tape. I would be careful with the amount of masking tape you're putting on just because it is probably going to weigh down your air skimmer. But what we're going to do first is assemble our wings, our fins I should say, fins along this 3-inch gap. And these are why your lines need to be perfectly straight. And so I'm just gonna break off, it doesn't quite matter the amount of tape you have. I would just probably say less is more because you can add more later. And we're just going to make sure that this is lined up as best as you can. And again, a suggestion I would have is you want to get the air bubbles out. So using your ruler to make sure that you don't have any air bubbles. And so you've got a nice crisp line. Now that you've got everything taped, or you've got your fins taped to the side, and now we're going to work on what I would say is probably the hardest part of the ramp. If we're looking at our sketch, we've got to make sure that it goes in at an angle. So basically what we're doing is we are going to take the front corner of this, it's got to match up to the bottom corner of our fin. I just went ahead and did one fin, but here are some suggestions I would have on to make tips to make your life a little bit easier when you're trying to attach the fin at an angle. Is that I would suggest taking your piece of tape and I would, where is it? Kind of fold it over so this is straight, just a smaller piece of tape. Again, I would use your ruler as a tip, as a sharp edge. So I've got that right there, and then you can always put a piece of tape if you need to, kind of right here. Basically, we're trying to make that ramp, but this is definitely the hardest part. So in the end, you should see angle, this should be a ramp, angle, angle. So we're looking at it, it should be kind of like that. Almost done. Now we got our air scoop. Air scoop, this one I would say is a little bit easier, but you just got to keep in mind, notice how it's coming up at an angle. You got to keep in mind that 1/8 of an inch. I would take your tape, remember yours is on your bag, and I would roll these into like a tube because this is going to end up going right here. So our little sides, I'm gonna place this. And remember, I've gotta make it so there's that 1/8 of an inch. I'm gonna roll a ball of tape, place it right here. Making sure this is straight. So I should have about 1/8 of an inch, sorry. Oops. As you can see, this can be very challenging. So I've got my 1/8 of an inch here. And I've got from the side, This is my side. You should see my ramp going up, my ramp going down, because later you're going to end up launching it.